Humanity is once again faced with an evolution that is required. And that evolution has to do with the human heart. We already know that love is the way. Born with that in the software. It's part of us. And yet, we have these triggered programs within us built around shame and disgust. Disgust in ourselves and in others, and judgment that separates us from the loving feeling, which is acceptance. And judgment is a separation. And when we feel shame because we see someone's actions and we think, I would feel shameful in their shoes. How can they do that? How can they respect themselves? And we can't imagine that they could respect themselves, but in fact, their life is based on their belief in the rules for them. And the evolution that we're now waking up to, the journey ahead, if we will, is that we're going to have to surrender that shit. We're going to have to stop judging each other. We're going to have to stop superimposing our beliefs for ourselves onto other people and stop feeling this disgust for others, because it's poison in our souls. It's poison to our connections and cooperations that are necessary to survive and thrive. The harder times are, the more we need each other. And the willingness to ask for help when we truly need it is brave beyond measure and terrifying, and triggers the shame and self-disgust within the program. Doesn't make it the truth. It's a judgment. It's what we were taught and what we have decided to follow through with. When we feel that we have done wrong, we have the opportunity to change based on our discernment. But to feel shameful, it's not who we are. These programs are ancient stories. They are history. They're an echo of the way we once lived, the way we once taught our children to feel uncomfortable around others because we do not shed our shame because we were told that we were born dirty, or we accepted a judgment of another person, perhaps someone we trusted who said horrible things to us, and we chose to keep that echoed memory in our mind undefied. We must defy our inner hate. We must excise the judgments we have on ourselves. And we must recognize where we do need forgiveness and change. We can't do everything we've been doing in the future. We can't think everything we've been thinking in the past. A great many changes are required within us because the human mind has become neurotic in most places. Our culture, our societal ways of thinking are a program that leads to too much separation into sadness and apathy when we finally realize we can't beat the world into submission and we ourselves become beaten into giving up. But I, for one, have realized again and again that every time I allow myself to give up, to surrender all that I am and bring it forth into the classroom of love's voice within me to help shine a light on this life, on this experience, and much more importantly, what it suggests in terms of desire for what is next, for who you're becoming. We have lost ourselves, and now it's time to find ourselves. We must surrender the old clothing of neurosis and don a brand new garb of self-acceptance and acceptance of others. To stop judging and hating, and when we realize we've been triggered, where we feel viscerally that someone must be condemned for something they've said or thought, or ways in which they chose to live. If they weren't harming anyone within the shared values, as long as compassion is being served, we must allow each other to be free. Free to creatively pursue your life right now. You got 100 years or so, and then ashes to ashes. So who are we to tell others how to live that life as long as they're not harming someone else? And even when we disagree, we must temper our temper and have a more gentle hand so that we may engage in kind, respectful discourse and invest our faith in the democratic process on a micro level. That if we discuss, if we honor each other's intelligence, and we stay in the conversation, and we stop pulling out our weapons against each other in order to try to flex the muscle and wield the power of hurtful words, disrespectful words. Would you say what you just said to someone that you were going to need to love you?